Resilience is not a new concept, but it has become subject to renewed interest and attention. Why? Because today we live in an age of multiple challenges, and despite a sharpened focus on tackling health inequalities in recent years, the wealth gap and the deprivation associated with living in poverty remain deeply ingrained and difficult to fix. Increasingly, papers and reports refer to resilience as a key characteristic that people in places should have more of. Rather than wait for problems to strike, it is better to support people in communities so that they can handle risks and challenges. This is not only better for services, it's better for people and communities who feel more in control as a result. People can mean different things when they talk about resilience. A scientist might describe how much pressure, stress or force a material can take before it breaks. This can lead to an understanding of resilient people as having mental toughness or inner strength. These qualities, though useful, are difficult to create in people, and this way of thinking about resilience doesn't consider the root causes of the stresses and pressures that affect people. And what about the people who have more stresses and pressures than others? Can we blame them for being less able to cope? No. Resilience is about more than what is within us. Looking into the sources of resilience confirms that it's not all about individuals. The first people to study resilience worked in child development. They wanted to understand why some children did better despite the odds being stacked against them. By looking at successful children from disadvantaged backgrounds, they found that individual children were more likely to be resilient if they had confidence in their ability to control their own lives and futures, intelligence, a capacity for problem solving, the ability to think about the consequences that their actions may have in the future. These are clearly individual qualities, and to have them is helpful. But the researchers found that resilience also depends upon how a person accesses networks of support, or how a person relates to others. This involves qualities such as empathy, sociability, expressiveness, and warmth. These relational qualities suggest that sources of resilience go beyond the individual or what is within us. Resilience can have more to do with being able to ask for help and having relationships of trust that can be relied upon in times of crisis. That is, what is between us. The source of a person's resilience is often the community that they belong to. The question then becomes, how can people be supported to have access to both the individual sources of resilience and a strong community network to draw upon? It is also important to understand the different types of resilience in order to provide people with the most effective forms of support. The first type of resilience is about getting back on your feet, maintaining the status quo after a crisis. The second type of resilience is about being able to take advantage of change, to transform, in order to be successful in your new environment. Let's think about someone who loses their job in food manufacturing. Status quo resilience, bouncing back, would concern getting back on their feet and finding a new job. Access to networks and support, such as close family and friends, is crucial to helping the individual get through the initial shock. What if a person not only loses their job, but the factory in which they work closes as that manufacturing industry disappears? This requires transformation, a change of occupation. In this situation, close family and friends remain important, but this individual will also need support from a wider network of people who know about new opportunities and how to access them. Here, a person's links with others becomes vitally important, and three types of relationships are needed. Support from those close to us, who share our values, understand our outlook, and help us through. Links to people who have different values and know about different opportunities to help us on. And links to people beyond us, in particular, those who make decisions about our community, to help us be heard. Resilience is about how individuals respond to different kinds of challenge. However, community support to help individuals flourish is important in the face of the challenges that life presents. Resilience is about what is within us, what is between us, and what is beyond us. We can all think of examples of the supports needed to enable coping and transformation. We will also be aware of some barriers to change, which are difficult for individuals to fix alone.